Right now, somewhere within arm's reach, you probably have enough sugar to make a prehistoric human completely lose their mind. It's sitting in your kitchen pantry, it's hiding in your bread, ketchup, yogurt, cereal, pasta sauce, and foods that don't even taste sweet anymore. Modern humans don't just eat sugar during dessert, they eat it constantly. Breakfast, coffee, snacks, drinks, tiny amounts piling up hour after hour without most people noticing. If you stacked all the sugar an average person eats in a month into one pile, it would probably look less like food and more like treasure. The average person today eats more sugar in a week than many ancient humans would have found in months. And every time sugar hits your tongue, your brain reacts like something extraordinary just happened. Because for almost all of human history, sweetness was unbelievably rare. The first sweet thing most humans ever taste is breast milk. Before you can speak or walk, your brain is already learning to connect sweetness with comfort, safety, and survival. That connection never really leaves. Your ancestors did not live in a world of desserts, soft drinks, and supermarket aisles glowing under fluorescent lights. Most of their lives were spent eating tough roots, bitter plants, dry nuts, fibrous grains, and meat that took real effort to hunt. Even fruit looked different. Wild bananas were small and packed with hard seeds. Ancient apples were tiny and sour. Watermelons were pale and bitter inside. A modern strawberry would probably taste almost unreal to a human living 40,000 years ago. For thousands of years, humans selectively bred fruit to become larger, softer, and sweeter. Humans slowly redesigned fruit itself. Sweetness existed in nature, but finding it was difficult. And when humans found it, they remembered it. Imagine yourself standing somewhere in East Africa during the Ice Age. You've spent the day moving through dry grasslands looking for food. Hunger is just a constant background sensation in your life. Every calorie matters because your body has no idea when the next successful hunt will happen. Then you notice bees disappearing into a hollow tree. Immediately, your attention locks onto it. Honey. Thousands of calories packed into thick golden liquid. In the ancient world, this was one of the richest foods a human being could possibly find. But getting it is going to hurt. You have no protective clothing, no ladder, no rope harness. You climb the tree anyway. The bees sting your face, neck, and hands. Branches crack beneath your feet. Sometimes people fall. Sometimes they even die. They still keep climbing. Anthropologists studying the Hadza people in Tanzania have documented this exact behavior in modern hunter-gatherer societies. Honey is so valuable that Hadza hunters spend hours searching enormous stretches of land for wild hives. And they don't search alone. There's a bird in Africa called the honey guide that has developed one of the strangest partnerships in human history. The bird knows humans can break open beehives. Humans know the bird can find them. So the bird literally guides hunters through the wilderness. It flies ahead from tree to tree while the humans follow its calls. Eventually, the bird leads them to a hidden hive. The humans break it open and eat the honey. The bird feeds on the leftovers. Humans and birds accidentally formed a business partnership thousands of years before civilization even existed, because sugar was that important. And honey was not the only thing ancient humans obsessed over. When berry season arrived, entire landscapes changed. A hillside filled with ripe fruit could draw animals from every direction. Birds, bears, insects, primates, and humans all competing for the same brief explosion of sweetness before it disappeared. For a few short weeks, ancient humans could finally eat without restraint. Children stained their hands purple crushing berries. Adults ate until their stomachs hurt. Some groups even timed migrations around seasonal fruit. Because in a world where calories were uncertain, sweetness meant safety. Your brain evolved in that world. In nature, bitter tastes often signal poison. Sweetness usually signals safe energy. Over millions of years, animals evolved to seek it aggressively. Humans became especially sensitive to it. The second sugar touches your tongue, your brain starts changing your behavior. Your attention narrows. You want more immediately. Your body prepares to consume as much as possible before the opportunity disappears. Your brain treats sweetness like an emergency opportunity, and for ancient humans, that instinct worked perfectly. If you found berries, you ate until your stomach hurt because you had no idea when you would find them again. If you discovered honey, you consumed enormous amounts right there on the spot because there was no refrigerator waiting back home. Your brain still works exactly the same way today. You are running ancient survival software built for a world of scarcity. But humans eventually changed the environment faster than evolution could keep up. Around 8,000 years ago, people in New Guinea began cultivating sugarcane. At first, they simply chewed the stalks for sweetness. Over time, sugarcane spread across Asia through migration and trade. Then sugarcane reached India, where something happened that changed human history forever. People figured out how to turn sugar into crystals. For the first time, humans could store sweetness. Before this, sweetness depended on ripe fruit or wild honey. It spoiled quickly, but crystallized sugar could survive long journeys and be traded across continents. And once humans realized this, the world changed very quickly. When Alexander the Great invaded India in 327 BCE, his soldiers encountered sugar for the first time. One commander described a strange plant that produced honey without bees. To Europeans, the idea sounded magical. Over the following centuries, sugar spread into Persia and the Islamic world. Traders carried it across major routes linking Asia, Africa, and Europe. Over centuries, sugar spread across the planet and reshaped entire economies. And wherever sugar arrived, people became obsessed with it. At first, sugar was incredibly expensive. Most people would never even taste it. Kings locked it away in guarded chests. Wealthy families displayed bowls of sugar during feasts as a way to show status. Doctors prescribed it as medicine. Some royal banquets featured sculptures made entirely from sugar. Castles, ships, animals, entire centerpieces people could eat afterward. That's how valuable it was. By the time Queen Elizabeth I ruled England, many nobles had completely black teeth from sugar decay. Strangely, this became a status symbol. Rotten teeth showed everyone you were rich enough to afford sugar. The poor still had healthy teeth. The rich had rotting ones. And for a brief moment in history, people envied that. Then demand exploded. European empires realized tropical climates were perfect for growing sugarcane. Huge plantations spread across the Caribbean and the Americas. Millions of enslaved Africans were forced into brutal labor harvesting sugarcane under horrific conditions. Entire economies began revolving around sweetness. The global sugar trade became one of the wealthiest industries on Earth, all driven by a craving that originally evolved to help humans survive famine. And then something happened that had never happened before in human history. Ordinary people gained regular access to concentrated sweetness. By the 1700s, sugar was becoming cheap enough for working-class families to consume every day. Sweet tea, pastries, jams, and desserts spread through cities across Europe. Human biology was completely unprepared for this, because your brain still thinks sugar is rare. That's the real problem. For most of human history, sweetness appeared in brief spikes. A handful of berries, a lucky beehive, a rare piece of ripe fruit. Then it disappeared again. Today, it never really disappears. Your nervous system was built for a world where sweetness appeared occasionally and vanished quickly. But modern humans now live in an environment where sugar is endless, and modern processed sugar is nothing like ancient fruit or wild honey. Think about eating an orange. You peel it, chew it, digest the fiber, eventually you feel full. Now think about drinking soda. Within minutes, enormous amounts of sugar hit your bloodstream while your stomach barely notices anything happened. There was no prehistoric equivalent to drinking 40 grams of sugar while sitting motionless on a couch. Your ancient brain reacts as though you just found an extremely rare survival resource. Except now, the resource never disappears. Modern food companies understand this very well. Entire teams of scientists carefully design foods to keep you craving the next bite. They test combinations of sugar, fat, crunch, and flavor until they find the exact balance that keeps your brain engaged. Walk through a supermarket and you can actually see the results. Bright candy wrappers designed to grab attention instantly. Breakfast cereals coated in sugar but marketed as healthy. Coffee drinks containing more sweetness than desserts from previous centuries. Children encounter this world almost immediately. Ancient humans had to search forests and climb dangerous trees for sweetness. Modern humans are surrounded by it every hour of the day. And over time, something strange happened to our sense of taste. Sweetness stopped feeling special. For most ancient humans, a sweet flavor was memorable because it was rare. Today, people consume sweetness so constantly that natural foods can start tasting dull by comparison. A strawberry can lose against a candy bar engineered in a laboratory. That would have sounded insane for almost all of human history. Researchers have found that when people reduce processed sugar for several weeks, ordinary foods begin tasting sweeter again. Fruit becomes more intense. Even milk starts tasting surprisingly sweet. It's as though your brain slowly recalibrates itself back toward older settings. But in the modern world, that recalibration rarely lasts, because sugar is now tied to almost every major emotional experience in human life. Birthday cakes, holiday desserts, chocolate gifts, parents rewarding children with candy, people bringing sweets to weddings, funerals, and celebrations. Sugar became comfort. It became reward. It became love. Even language reflects this. People call loved ones honey, sweetheart, or sugar. Ancient cravings slowly embedded themselves into culture itself, and maybe that's why sugar is so difficult for humans to fully resist. You are fighting millions of years of survival instinct, and every time you walk into your kitchen late at night looking for something sweet, your brain is reacting to a world that no longer exists. A world where sweetness was rare. A world where finding honey was worth the pain of 100 bee stings. A world where sugar could mean the difference between surviving the winter or starving before spring. Now the treasure cave never empties, and your ancient brain still hasn't realized the hunt is over.